Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of With All Due Respect. We are your hosts. I'm Ryan Shead. That's Marcus Flowers. Brother, how are you doing?
Outstanding today, man. Looking forward to getting this show on. You got a super guest. I'm gonna let you introduce him. So I'm excited today.
Well, as many of you know, we have had this particular individual on the show before, but we said if he won, he needed to come back. So we're calling this a win today, but there's still more work to do, which is why he's back. So without further ado, Brigadier General Shawn, Harris. Thank you, sir, for coming on again. And congratulations on topping the field with 42% of the vote.
Hey, guys, again, thank you. I'm excited to be back on your show. I got to let you know, I go on a lot of shows. Y'all guys got the best music. I got to give you that.
That's Ian Sherman, man. He gave us the beat. He made it. So shout out to Ian. Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, man. So I think what I'd like to get into is what key moments or strategies do you think have gotten you to this point or propelled you past the other two Democrats into this runoff?
Well, you know, the reality of it is I got to go all the way back to the root. And the root starts with Marcus, my dear brother that's right there on the screen. Marcus is the one who actually opened the door. Marcus is the one who actually encouraged me and said, hey, Shawn, go get in the fight. And from that, we have stayed consistent since the time that I ran against Marjorie Taylor Greene on kitchen table issues and speaking directly to the people right here in Northwest Georgia. With that being said, now we are in a race, or we were in a race, where we were running against at one time 22 people. Two of those were Democrats, and then some independent.
Democrats.
Democrats.
Yeah. Quote unquote. You see those quotes there? They say they were Democrats.
Yeah. You know, it is what it is. The reality of it is I think it's ended up being about 13, 14 Republicans. We knew going into this race that mathematically it's going to be a little hard to get to that 50 plus 1%. But we also said what we need to do as a team is to say, okay, let's beat them all and get the most votes. Because this election here is 100% about turnout. And now, because like you said the other night, I think it was this past Tuesday night, we actually won the primary itself. Now into a runoff. Now I'm running against Fuller. And the reality of it is Fuller's not 100% sure if all the Republicans going to come to him. As you see him on social media, on TV, he is still begging after a week to say, we need to get all the Democrats to come, all the Republicans to come together. The reality of it is this. I don't think they're all going to come together because Moore, who came in third place, still believes that he should have got the endorsement from President Trump. And he still believes that he should have been running against me now. And I believe that he's going to say, no, if Fuller's going to win, Fuller got to win it on his own, or Fuller's going to embarrass himself and get beat by this Democrat, Shawn Harris, and then we'll have to run against Moore in November. So I think that's how it's going to play out here in the next few weeks.
Can I ask a follow-up question?
Come on.
Do you think that their support of Trump, especially right now with everything we're seeing, do you think that may affect the turnout?
Now, I would tell you right now, the entire district is very concerned about this war that we're in, this war of choice. We chose to get in it.
Yes,
and then even today, some very high-level intelligence officials that briefed Trump directly have came out and said, I resigned because this is a war of choice. I think those type things are coming back down to our district, and they saying, okay, we need a leader like Shawn Harris is going to go up there, and if Trump is right on something, he's going to support it because that's what's best for the district. But if he's wrong on something, I'm going to push back hard, where Clay is 100%, yes, sir, boss, whatever you want me to do, boss. That's what he's actually saying. So at the end of the day, the people in the district, Democrats, Independents, and Republicans are saying, we need a real leader that we can send to D.C. that's going to actually not only fight for us, but fight for our kids and grandkids that are currently inside the Middle East right now and fighting every day for us.
That's a great distinction.
Rubber stamp, as if he needs another rubber stamp.
Yep.
Correct. Even Marjorie Taylor Greene has said the last thing that this district needs is another rubber stamp, because she said that everything that Trump has been telling us with mega has all been a lie.
It tells you everything you need. But real quick before Marcus takes the next one, I just want to say one of the things I love about you is that you're not wearing a shirt that has your campaign logo on it. You're wearing a shirt that says leadership matters. And that is such an exclamation point without even saying anything of the topic you just said. So impressed, sir.
Thank you very much. You know, that was a saying that I said for 30 some years in the military as I moved through leadership, that leadership matters. I actually believe that I got that from one of my sergeant majors somewhere along the way, that he said to me, "Hey, Shawn, at the end of the day," or "Hey, sir, at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is leadership matters, and we got to make sure that we're looking out for our troops." And that's kind of how I look at this race that I'm in. We're not in the military anymore, but I just want to look out for every person in this district, regardless they're Democrat, Independent, or Republican, because every last one of them are hardworking people, and they deserve better.
Amen.
All right. Great answer. Leadership does matter. I mean, you know, our acronym in the Army for leadership: loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and I forget what the last P is.
But you were doing outstanding.
All things we need now, though. Yes.
Outstanding.
Pride. I don't know.
There you go.
It's been a long time since I've been in the military. But let's get into the brass tacks of this, Shawn. When we talk about campaigns and things like that, and how these races are run. Now, in 2022, now this is 14 is a ruby red district.
Yep.
For Trump twice,
Mm-hmm.
and for Marjorie Taylor Greene 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
In 2022, I pulled about 130,000 votes.
Mm-hmm.
In 2024, you got, after they gerrymandered the district some more,
Yep.
you still got more votes than I did, 135,000 votes.
Yeah.
And that's against Marjorie Taylor Greene. We both did that against Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Mm-hmm.
The most votes that went blue in that district in 2022 ever. Then in 2024, you beat that.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the specific lessons from the campaign did you apply, if any, from 22, and what did you apply from 24 to help you in this special? Or
yeah, you know, the key thing, we have to be consistent. And when I say consistent, our message has to be clear, and our message has to be directly to the people. In addition to that, you're right, Marcus, the district that you ran in versus the district that I ultimately ended up running in is completely different. Now we have West Cobb, and we don't have Gordon County anymore. So we picked up a suburb of Atlanta, which some people thought is going to be heavy Republican. But the reality of it is Marcus, when we actually got over there and started knocking on doors, those Republicans and Democrats were very upset to find out that Marjorie Taylor Greene was their representative. And
Really?
that first day.
That happens a lot in Georgia.
Yep.
It happened a lot.
Wow.
Since that first day of when I ran against Marjorie, now when I come into West Cobb and we're knocking on doors, or I'm actually personally knocking on doors, Democrats and Republicans are hugging me at the door saying, "We want you." And you saw that the other night. We glimpsed the picture the other night. If everybody comes out and vote and make their voice heard, we can win this district, because West Cobb was blue, Paulding was blue. We got to figure out what's going right here in Polk County where I live, but we'll get it figured out. Floyd County was blue, and then it went all the way up there to Dalton, Dalton, and it was blue.
That's a flip.
That is a flip.
Whitfield County is a flip. That was a flip.
Whitfield County is a flip. And these things, not only from your election to my election to this one, in between that, we also had the election, I think it was called the PCS or P whatever, the light bill.
Georgia Public Service Commission.
Right. That right there, that election started this, what I don't want to call it a blue wave, but it definitely started getting people out to believe that if you just come out and vote, it is enough of us as a coalition that can flip this thing. And what I see happening here on the 7th is all of those areas that you saw that I turned blue the other night. they're going to be even bluer. And then on top of that, right here in Polk County, I think Polk County is going to get it figured out and say, you know what? It'll be a pretty good deal if the congressman is from Polk County. Vote your interest. Vote somebody that you can see at Walmart, or vote for somebody that you can see right at Tractor Supply that raise cattle just like you. So I'm confident that this district is at the point. I'm not going to say it's going to flip, but it's going to be, we won't be calling it ruby red anymore.
Yeah, and I like that. And you talk about Polk County. You know, my roots go back generations in Polk County. My daddy taught school there for 36 years at the high school in Cedartown. You know, again, family goes back generations and generations in Polk County. So that place holds a special place in my heart. But I want to touch on that PSC race that you talked about, how that started the blue wave. And people don't realize that those two seats that Democrats picked up in that Public Service Commission race were the first two seats for a state level election in, I want to say 22 years. You know, of course, we got the two senators in, Warnock and Ossoff, but those are federal elections. Those were the first two statewide races that Democrats had picked up in 22 years. That's even with all of the gerrymandering and all of that, you know, which was awesome. So that, I do believe that, yes, that did get the ball rolling. And then you've seen nationally where Democrats are just running the field right now. Picking up seats left and right everywhere you turn. And I'm one of those people. You know, I'm an optimist, but I think we do have a unique opportunity here, and you'll see as you know, people who are watching, Shawn's getting a whole lot of news coverage now. I thought he should have been getting all that news coverage nationally a long time ago.
Agreed.
But you have to, you know, the reality of it is, the way I look at it, I had to put in the work. We had to put in the work to make people believe inside the district first. But then what we have done now inside the district, now others outside of the district, the state of Georgia believes. And now you're seeing the entire country believe. And I'll go one step further. The entire world believes, because it is people that are actually supporting our campaign, Americans that support our campaign, live overseas and saying, hey, we need a leader in DC because everything that happens comes out of DC. We need somebody with common sense that's not only going to look out for the district, but look out for all of us that's overseas. So that's kind of how I look at it. I'm proud to have all the coverage. What I would tell you that I when I think about it, it blows my mind, is that my opponent, he's supposed to be the one that's endorsed by the president. But every time you notice, you see me on all these different stations, including Newsmax. I was on Newsmax yesterday, but they will say, well, we invited Fuller, but he declined to come. The question is Fuller his own man, or is somebody trying to make him something and he's not sure what to say? So,
but if you're running a campaign and somebody says, hey, we'll put a microphone in front of your face, especially if they're considered a friendly or somebody that's on your side.
Well, I would tell you what
Am I wrong?
What I have told my team is this. I want to represent the people of Northwest Georgia.
Tell them.
I'm on anybody's show. Anybody's show. And I just did that. I think it was yesterday that I think I was on Newsmax. It was a good, tough interview. Yeah. But guess what? That's why leadership matters, because when you get to DC, it is nothing that's easy. It's not a multiple choice test. It's not a true false test. This stuff's supposed to be hard. And if you can't handle some news reporter question, then don't get in this game, because hey, I'm telling you, how are you going to
be able to negotiate with members on the other side?
Right. How are you going to be able to go across the aisle, have that hard discussion, but don't lose your temper and say, where are the little fine points that we can agree upon? Yeah. If you can't handle that with a news reporter, then you're not qualified to go to DC, because right now DC is completely out of control. Probably the best way to put it.
But as we said though too,
let me get something in here real quick.
Yeah,
Brian.
go ahead.
One of the things that kind of upset me about the Democratic Party when I was running in 22 is how much of the field we left uncontested.
Mm-hmm.
Places that, like Northwest Georgia, that were written off. When I started the race, there was barely any infrastructure there as far as the Democratic Party goes. Now, in Polk County, I think there were 2 people in the committee.
Yeah.
They had no money. We raised a ton of money. We invested in Polk County. We invested in Floyd County. We invested in Whitfield County, helped build that infrastructure.
Yeah.
And then look what we did. We got most votes up until that point, but records are made to be broken, than any Democrat in history. It's because we competed. Democracy demands competition. And that's why that's what I love about the fact that you're number 1 in this runoff. You're the guy to beat now.
Yeah.
Democrat and it's still a red district. It's still Trump country until you win it.
Yep. It's not a done deal.
It's not a done deal.
You're right. You built that infrastructure. We then came on board and we built upon that infrastructure. And
that's been a lesson to the Democratic Party.
And the good thing about building that infrastructure is that because we built it, all 10 counties are laser focused on what we need to do. All 10 counties right now out there knocking on doors or writing postcards or making phone calls. That's happening internally.
Thank you.
Then on top of that, because all 10 counties said, wait a minute, Shawn Harris is our candidate, they voted for me. And then on top of that, the entire state said, hey, I don't know what the boys and girls are doing up there in Northwest Georgia, but they doing something that look right. And they then down in for the state, the entire state voted for me to say, you know what, he is our candidate. That speaks volumes. Huge. When we all get on the same sheet of music and stop fighting amongst ourselves and say this, hey, Shawn Harris is a Democrat. He's a moderate Democrat. He's not like everybody else. But guess what? Everybody else don't want to raise cattle for a living. So,
well, speaking of, that brings me to the next question.
Think about that, what I just said. Everybody else that called himself a Democrat don't wake up in the morning and say, man, I think I want to raise cattle. So that in itself makes me different. But even though I'm different, doesn't mean that I'm less of a Democrat or whatever. The reality of it is something I love about the Democratic team. The tent is supposed to be so big that we all can stand up under the tent.
Amen.
And to win here or to represent Northwest Georgia, I got to be who I am. I got to be a moderate Democrat, even if we remotely going to have a chance to win this thing.
Amen. So as a individual with cattle rancher roots, as you've just said, what do you think it is about the not your typical Democrat message that outperformed this crowded special election?
Yeah, this is what it is. I speak plain. I talk directly to people. Nobody's giving me any talking points. I'm highly educated, but at the same time, I can use regular, everyday language. Yes. What I say to the people when we're doing the town hall, yes, I'm a retired general. Yes, I raise cattle for a living. Yes, I buy my jeans at Walmart. But I also have 2 master's degrees, and I have a certificate in Homeland Security, and I still carry a top secret clearance. The reality is when you hire or elect this cattle farmer, you're going to get a whole lot of stuff in that package that you never knew was inside the package. But when you get it, you're going to say, whoo, man, I'm so glad to have this guy in Washington, D.C. And that's what makes me different, because my mom told me many years ago, stay humble. And when you get to the top, act like you've been there before.
And when you've got all those credentials on the wall, the nice thing is you don't have to cosplay as something you're not. So,
I had I won't say it was a Democrat or Republican, but I had somebody it made me chuckle, because I really don't look at social media stuff what people say about me, but it did make me chuckle. He said, sometimes you have some Democrats that have credentials and it's clearly is made up.
Oh, yeah.
Guess what? Nothing about Shawn Harris is made up. I lived it. And the reason why I'm so passionate about our veterans is because Marcus and you and everybody else can tell you, when we go overseas and we in the side of a war zone, we're playing for keeps. This is not a video game. So you need somebody that's going to say, wait a minute, time out. If you didn't go overseas or you didn't go in the fight, please allow somebody else to speak up that actually been there, because tonight, as we speak, our most precious asset is fighting for us. And as y'all guys know, this war that we're in right now is a war of choice, but this war that we're in is spreading, and it may actually continue to spread, and we may see some more terrorist attacks here in the United States like last week.
Before I hand it back to Marcus, I wanted to follow up with something. It's kind of maybe more of a statement. As a social media influencer, I've been seeing some individuals that I would say are liberal, left-wing creators, whatever you want to call them. Mm-hmm. And I've been seeing posts saying things like, don't send Shawn Harris money because he can't win the election. Send it somewhere else.
I've seen those too. Let me speak on that.
Please, sir, please tell him.
Before you do answer it, can I just say, I know who that guy is.
I started something. I like this.
That guy is. You go with it.
And he played a part in an election here. I'm not going to say any names, but that guy who's writing those posts, don't send Shawn Harris any money, which is absolutely ridiculous, was on a campaign here in Northwest Georgia against Marjorie Taylor Greene. The most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of. Shawn, I'm going to let you answer that. I just had to get that off my chest. I think it's some bullshit.
I really like y'all guys' show. Because, usually I don't look at the social media stuff or the comments and all that. But I'm not going to lie to you. I saw it that night. I saw it. And normally I don't come up on the net, but I did come up on the net. Not the campaign, it was me. I came up on the net and simply asked a simple question. Sometime, if that's what you think, keep it to yourself. If you really are thinking about, can they perhaps win it? If you don't want to get on the team, don't get on the team.
Yeah, don't send your money.
But then on the flip side of the coin, don't try to come and take some picture with me and then try to play it in a particular way. Because that same individual that you may be talking about said, oh, Shawn is not going to win it. It's no way possible. It's too many Republicans.
He got a picture with you?
Guess what? If I believe, I almost said the wrong word. If I release stuff like that, then Shawn is not living today. I'm always winning. But I'll tell you something else. Then the individual had the nerve to say, I look forward to coming up there and seeing Pete and taking a picture with Pete. So you mean you can come up here to take a picture with Pete, the Secretary of Transportation, but you can't come up here with all your friends and help me knock on some damn doors, help me make some phone calls, donate some money so that we can actually win this thing? Because guess what? You have the mind of being a defeatist. You don't want us to win because you still want to have the devil, somebody you can raise money off of. You asked me, so I told you. And guess what? That is the reason why we as Democrats need to get out of the way, put real leaders in the right positions so that we can actually win elections. Now, normally I don't come that clean, but at the end of the day, that individual is the reason why our Democratic Party, some people got upset with me talking about somebody that's weak. If the shoe fit, put it on. Because
hit dog always hollers.
Nothing easy up here in Northwest Georgia. This is hard, and if you don't want to join the team, okay. But don't talk about the team and don't join the team when we win it.
Oh, that just pisses me off because I didn't know it went that far.
I didn't either.
Just a comment. Now you just gave me some information that I didn't know, and that is absolutely ridiculous.
I don't know if they took down the post, but I know when I read that.
No, it's still there.
I know the fact of it is this. I try to treat everybody right, but I got to be honest with you.
Yep.
Every place you can talk to anybody who is under my command, nobody talks about my team. Period.
Yep.
That's what leadership is
Period.
all about.
Nobody talks about my team. We are busting our ass up here to win this election.
And
So
he's
if
using
you don't want to come, I can understand if you was in California. But if you're right here in Georgia, and you don't want to come, and we got people calling from all over the country right now. We got people coming, moving here, staying in rental houses to help us knock on doors.
Yep.
But you just want to sit in your basement and write a damn tweet? Come on.
Amen. And
If
that's
you
what
want to talk about leadership matters, let's come on in here. Let's talk about leadership matters, because guess what? The real Shawn Harris didn't get to where I'm at because I'm super nice. The military ain't, nice guys don't make it.
Well, you don't become a
That's
flag
not the Brigadier
officer,
General.
nice
At
guy.
the end of the day, if you want to come to the real table, come on up to the table and we can talk about how we can win this race. And I'll tell you what you can do to help me win. But if you just want to sit back and play on a video game, you're not in the Leadership Matters department.
So my guess is that person's going to sit behind that keyboard and continue talking trash, or because I don't think he's going to confront you like that.
No.
That was ridiculous. And you know, again, this is the same person that participated in the 2022 campaign against Green with one of my primary opponents, of course, not with me. You know, my team
seems to be a trend.
It's a trend, because I kind of said that you said some of the same things about me. Don't send flowers money. And people, you know, you've heard us say on this show all the time, send money to our candidates.
Yep.
Our PACs,
It's the only way we
hold
win.
the line in fields of change, give money to candidates.
Right.
Give money to the candidate, but give money to PACs also, because PACs can be a force multiplier for campaigns.
Not all PACs are bad.
And not all PACs are bad or grifters. So there are,
and the PACs have absolutely nothing to do with the campaign. At the end of the day, what I always say to individuals like this,
because we can't coordinate.
Be quiet. If you don't like what we're doing, okay, be quiet. And then the other piece, this individual can't even vote for me. Now, if it was somebody in my district,
that would be a little different.
Personally get on my truck, drive to their house, sit down, have a professional conversation, and say, how can I earn your vote?
Yep.
That's what Shawn Harris did. That's Leadership Matters.
How can I work for you?
You not even remotely in our district. Not even remotely, but the best you can do is come up, say this within 24 hours of the vote.
Yeah. Like almost instantly.
You see what I'm saying? He's basically doing voter suppression on the Democratic side.
Yep.
This conversation that we're discussing actually happened before I won the doggone primary, the doggone thing.
Yep.
The reality of it is, and guess what that individual has not done? And I'll be honest with you, I don't spend my time looking at social media. But that individual, as far as I can tell, has not came back up and said, you know what, I was wrong. Congratulations, Shawn. You at least won the first phase. What can we do to help you get to the second phase?
Yep.
Because guess what? The Secretary of Transportation, Pete, came down here. Nobody called Pete. Pete called me and said, Shawn, I see what you're doing.
You need to win this seat.
I see what you're doing. And if the Democratic Party wants to win in red areas, we need leaders like you, and I support you, and I want to come down and support you. Right. Guess what? That individual that did the little thing on social media hadn't said one word of congratulations. So the only thing I'm saying, I'm not upset. God knows I'm not upset, but I will call a spade a spade.
Hold it out.
I will call you out when you need to be called out, because I believe steel on steel makes you better. And the reality of it is, this individual here, he or she has made me better, because now they have given me more energy to run in this runoff that I'm in.
And I just want to cap that off by saying, again, as an influencer who has worked for 6 years, you know, in politics and podcasting and now doing this, it's very disappointing to see anybody that considers themselves a liberal, a Democrat, or even an independent at this point to trash a candidate of the caliber of Shawn Harris. you know, he's proven just in this interview why he has the mentality that we need in Washington, D.C. So to my fellow creators out there, my fellow Democrats, please stop. Like he said, just don't say anything. Don't use your platform to hurt them. You know, that's all we're asking. You don't have to send them money yourself. That, like, we're not twisting your arm. But if you're using your platform to trash somebody when we can literally win this seat, then you are not doing the social media gig for the right reasons.
Well, let me tell you what you're also doing there is you got people, and Shawn talked about those people who are volunteering to canvass.
Yes.
Field
it's time
that he's got out there, those phone bankers, those people who are writing postcards.
Mm-hmm.
You're discouraging them.
Yes.
These are the people that live in these districts.
Yes.
These are the people that want to see change, real change and leadership in their districts.
Yes.
And you're going to go out and tell those people it ain't worth it. Don't do it.
Let me just put
it's asinine to me. Sorry, General.
Let me just put these two facts on the table. When the Secretary of Transportation called me, Pete called and said, "Hey, Shawn, I want to support you. Can I come and support you?" I said, "Sure, sir, you can come." I said, "Sir, but the reason why I want you," he couldn't get here before April 7th. What I thought was great about the conversation, he said, "Shawn, win, lose, or draw, or if you're in a runoff, it doesn't make any difference to me. I still want to come and support you. So when we come on whatever that date was that Saturday, we're either going to be celebrating that you're in the runoff or you did a great job." Yep. I said, "Pete, when you come, this is not about me. This is about all the hardworking people that have volunteered and did all kinds of things to get us to this point." Amen. That's why I asked why Pete came. But the other piece I would say is this. You know, guys, I wish I had it down here in the office with me, but it's out in my truck. What this individual don't realize is that Marjorie Taylor Greene and I got something in common. It is crazy people that are threatening us so that when I go out into events where everybody knows that I'm going to be at my town hall, guess what? I'm not in the gym lifting weights. That's a bulletproof vest under my damn shirt that says courage is contagious. So when I see somebody doing their little fingers, I don't get upset with them, but it does say, wait a minute. This, what we're trying to do up here could get you killed.
Yes.
And you want to poo-poo on it? So at the end of the day, I'm not sure how this interview is supposed to go, but I always like talking to y'all guys because guess what? This show is real. This show is 100% veterans talking to veterans, so we don't have to be playing around. And if this individual or individuals that had to say what they want to say, they got my phone number. 7,000 people in this district got my phone number. They can get it, and they can call me tonight, and we can have the conversation, because at the end of the day, one thing General Harris would tell you, when I tell you come on in the office, it's man on man. You tell me where you stand, I tell you where I stand, but we're going to get to an understanding here, because that's why sometimes that we lose in these areas is because we have weakness.
Yes, sir. Who
get out there and cause other people to be weak. Each one of y'all guys have been in the combat zone. If one joker run, everybody damn run. Yeah. We ain't running. We looking people dead in the face, and we're actually going to win this election with courage, 100%, and that's how we're going to do it. And I'm not going to let some kind of social media star come in here and try to tell the people in Northwest Georgia that they not working and it's not going to work for them. That's BS. That's bullshit. I ain't going to say no BS. That's bullshit. I don't care how you have to flim it out. But at the end of the day, now you got me hyped, and I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go out and knock on some doors.
See, he's still ready to go, folks.
That's it. And now you're talking to real veterans, and you're going to get it how we give it.
That's right.
When we were soldiers and airmen,
yeah,
we look at things like that and we say, cowards talk shit in safe places behind keyboards.
Yeah,
we'll talk it to your face if we feel it. That's
right.
How we are. That's who we are. That's what real leaders do.
And I would tell you that same passion that I had just right there, that is the same passion in a professional manner that I would have when I'm in Washington, D.C. fighting for everybody in this district. When I talk about those doors closed and there's no more cameras, and now it's time to have a hard conversation, That same passion is what I'm going to have for our veterans. That's the same passion I'm going to have for our farmers, our school teachers, and everybody. Because guess what? Too many people are up in Washington, D.C. Only thing they want to do is run out to the cameras and say something just to make themselves look good back at home. But the only thing they want to do is just go out to dinner and have a nice drink and make some money and then come on back home and say, well, I tried.
They want the clicks and the viral moments. It's not about that all the time. It's about getting the work done for the people.
Yep.
Sean chose violence today. I like this.
I'm not violent, but I would tell you, I hate weakness.
Woke up and chose realness. That's what it chose.
There you go. There you go.
If I have said it for many years, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't help you you're not tough enough to be on the team. And when I say tough enough to be on the team, men and women have worked for me. Yep. But you got to earn your spot.
Yep.
And when you get here, you got to earn your spot to keep it because somebody else is hungry. And at the end of the day, what we doing up here in Northwest Georgia, this is not easy. So you got to be hungry if you want to win it. And guess what? If you not, that's fine. That's fine. But up here, we got to believe, we got to work hard, we got to work when we tired, because guess what? When we win this election, everybody else is going to be cheering. We're going to say, ain't surprised.
Yep.
We put in the work.
That's it.
We put in the work.
All right. Well, I tell you what.
We put in the work. And then we're going to get on the plane the very next morning and Washington, D.C. and say, Speaker of the House, I'm here. I already got my hand up. Bring the Bible out here. I'm ready to take my oath.
Let's go.
And if you don't want to say it to me, I know it by heart. I can do it myself. But you need to do it so to make it all legal because I'm ready to go to work for the American.
Hopefully they don't give you the same treatment they gave our rep in Arizona here.
That's why we're getting on the plane the next morning. We're going to be at 9 o'clock in the morning. The flight's already booked. Jump on it in Atlanta. I know right now there's a lot of things going in Atlanta. We'll get on the plane. We'll be there at 9 o'clock. I'll be on the floor with my hands ready to go. I'm ready. And I'll be there with my sleeves rolled up because I'm going to work.
That's it. That's it.
That's like Michael Jordan. I'm only packing one suit. Like I got my plane ticket. We're going.
I'm ready to go. I'm ready.
Now, I know, ladies and gentlemen, we kind of got a little bit off track and let y'all see how veterans and service members really talk to each other. So I'm going to try and bring it back.
It's pretty close to the green room, yeah.
We got the general hyped.
I guarantee you.
I love this kind of talk.
Marcus, I guarantee you, when my team see this, they're going to just say, oh, my goodness.
Did he just say bull?
Did he just say, and I'm going to say, I told you from the beginning, I'm not a politician. I'm just
people react to that authenticity. That's the reality.
That's who I am. And
that's one of the first things I said to you. Be your authentic self. People are going to love it. That's one of the first things I said to you.
Yep. Absolutely. And when you just looked, and I just want to let you know that I had like flashbacks of getting called to the carpet when you looked in the screen and used that finger like that. I was like, geez, feels like I'm getting called to the carpet here. Geez. So
even at my level, you can get called to the carpet.
You can get called to the carpet. That's right. I need you to go up there and call Mike Johnson and several other of these people on the carpet. Like,
it's got to be several stars at your level or a Senate hearing to get
something. Yeah.
You can get
presidential order.
Well, look, let me bring it back.
Yeah, man.
Okay. So we talked about earlier Trump endorsing Fuller.
Yes.
And still, Fuller didn't get but 34% to your 38% of the vote. And remember, y'all were splitting that vote with 17 or 16, 15 other people.
Yeah.
Now,
that really is a big deal.
It's a huge deal.
Yeah.
It's a huge deal. One of my things, looking at the math going into the race, I knew I had to pull Republicans and independents.
Yes.
I did get some.
Yeah.
Going into this runoff, well, we know it's important that you pull independents and Republicans and get them to cross over. What's your plan in doing that? You already pulled some already over.
And
there's still plenty of vote out there. A lot of people didn't show up. There's still plenty of Democratic voters out
There's
there.
still plenty of Democratic vote, but we're gonna definitely turn out our Democratic vote, and that's what we're doing. But on top of that, independents are saying, hey, we went with you, Shawn, for 60%. We think they're gonna even go 80% or higher this time because independents are not supporting this war that we're currently in, and the cost of living, all those kind of things. But in addition to that, we failed in this primary that we just finished, or jungle runoff, whatever we was in. We failed somewhere between 15 and 20% on Republicans that voted for me this time. So we're fully expecting a couple of things are going to happen, because it is people out there saying, well, if you look at all the votes the Republicans got, is more Republican votes than what Shawn actually received.
Yeah.
Okay, that's easy math. But what they're not saying is Fuller is right now in the middle of a primary. Shawn Harris has nobody running against him in the primary.
There you go.
Fuller, he has, I think, 6 or 7 other Republicans that ran against him one time. One of them is Moore. Mm-hmm. I can't tell you what these guys are going to do, but if I was Moore, I would be saying, this guy has Trump's endorsement. He has all of this, but if he blows this election and the Democrat beats him, it's no way that the president is going to endorse this guy again in November, and Moore will be the one who gets anointed in November to try to take the seat back from me. And I believe what Fuller got happening right now is all these Republicans that are currently running against him, who just ran against him before, you don't see where they actually raising their hand and saying, I'm endorsing Fuller. They're not saying I'm giving Fuller all of my votes. That's not happening. And that's why
that's
Fuller is struggling right now. And that's why I am so confident that I'm going to win this thing, because not only Democrats are excited, independents are excited, and guess what? When Republicans get to see General Harris come to the table,
they feel represented. They say,
now that's a fighter. Other folk talk about fighting. Other people talk about playing video games. I don't play no video games. I don't even like a video game, but I definitely know how to fight.
He did in real life.
I'll just say it that way.
No, I love that. And what I also love is that you already are game planning for the next person that you anticipate running against, because it is going to be a quick turn.
It's quick turn.
So I love that. Hearing that, just it makes me that much more excited, because I'm like, oh, he's like, I got this. I'm already looking at the next guy I got to beat.
Wow.
I love
the
that.
other thing about that too, as a brigadier general, you know when to fight and when diplomacy is probably the best option.
Yes.
100%.
Know that as well.
Yes.
100%. When it's time to fight, we can fight. When it's time to sit down and have a great conversation, let's bring all the wives in. Let's sit down at the table. I know exactly what fork to pick up, what I can do a nice little toast. We don't even have to let our spouses know that we don't agree.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, if we can say, hey, when it comes to rural America, we are getting left behind. And I'm talking about the people in Arkansas. If you know who I'm talking about in Arkansas, if that individual in Arkansas that's a Republican has also said his hospitals are about to be closed. So suppose him and I have dinner and we say, you know what, we can't agree on much, but we definitely agree when it comes to our rural community. What can we do together
Yes.
to ensure that the 8,000 plus people that we actually, 800,000 people that we actually represent can actually have something? And that's leadership. That's how you bring things together. And my opponent, Fuller, is not going to have that clout, because guess what? They already bringing him to DC to do one thing: vote yes for anything Donald Trump has. So if yes, what you up there to do, you don't have any bargaining. You're done.
Yeah.
That's it.
Basically, he should fly in on voting day, because the other days he's not invited to any conversations.
No. Not going to negotiate
Oh,
anything.
he
Definitely
should
not
just fly in on vote day.
So why? I mean, but more importantly,
100%.
when you win this election, guess what that does to Speaker Mike Johnson?
Oh, I know.
It's not just taking away one more vote from him. He doesn't have one more vote to spare.
No,
Right.
he doesn't.
No. And I believe before we even get to April 7th, I believe more Republicans are going to get out because they know this ship is sinking and they got to think about what's the day after. So they get out of this thing right now.
Yes.
Because on this ship is no life jackets.
So
It's no life jackets. You either own the ship and going down with it, or you get off before it goes down. And I think a lot of Republicans are saying, hey, you know, it's a good time for me to retire right now.
I can't remember the number, but it's a lot of them who are either not running for re-election or retiring.
Mm-hmm.
Life.
Mm-hmm. All together.
A lot of them.
Yep.
Yeah. A lot of them. Because they see this, the writing's on the wall. It
100%.
has been ever since, I'll say ever since the Venezuela thing, but maybe a little bit before that.
Yeah.
You know, the guy who said no new wars, who said they were going to be all transparent and release all the Epstein files.
Said gas was going to be $2.
Oh,
And now
it's getting close to no, it's over 5 now here.
it's over 5.
he's lost jobs,
Over 5.
negative jobs. The economy is negative jobs for 92,000 jobs in the last count, and you know he's lost more jobs than any president in history.
And when you say all of those things, Marcus, it affects us very fast here in the rural community.
Yeah.
And that is why people are coming to me saying, Shawn, I know that you are a Democrat,
But
I also know that you're a leader and you have served our country, and I just want to give you a chance.
Yep.
And that is what people are saying to me, that I just want to give you a chance. But when you get there, you got from now to November to get some results.
to show me.
Guess what? The General Harris retired, Brigadier General Harris retired, that y'all guys got a chance to see a little bit earlier in the show. That is the individual that when I get to DC, I already got people saying, I want to work on your staff. And I say back to them, do you really work on my staff? Because candidate Shawn Harris and elected official Shawn Harris, it could be very well 2 different people.
Yeah.
So that when I say to you in the morning, we need to have the first draft of so-and-so.
4 in the morning. 4 in the morning.
Let me tell you, if you've never had to brief a general officer, you know how nerve-wracking that can be, especially for someone who's like an E6. For me, having to brief general officer,
E4.
it can be
because Marcus,
a little nerve-wracking.
You've been in the room.
Yeah.
You've been in the room. It is people in the room that, you know what, that sounds great. And I appreciate it. But you know, you need to go on and pack your stuff up. We're gonna let you go home and see your family
Permanently.
Somebody else in this chair that know how to get it done.
Yep.
That's what you call getting results.
Yep.
This thing's supposed to be hard.
Yep.
We don't supposed to sleep at night. What our men and women are doing for us in the war zone right now, they're fighting day and night. So when we're in Congress, we should be working for the American people, the people right here in Northwest Georgia, day and night, that when we come home on the weekend, we got something to tell them. This is what we have done, and these are the results that we have got. We shouldn't just be talking about, I'm still working on it, but nobody's called me back yet. That's you almost made me say another bad word. I'm not going to
unacceptable. That was one of the words I used to hear. You know,
there you go.
Unacceptable. You know, especially when you're out running real world missions that have life and death consequences. That's why I always support veterans, people who've been through it, people who've been part of combat operations or not in combat themselves. They get that. If you didn't understand what that oath meant before, now you do.
Yep.
I have a pair of green socks. I know it's a crazy story because we all got green socks, but I got a pair of green socks that I remember the G4, the guy who's in charge of all logistics was saying that we need some special socks to go into Afghanistan, and they're going to be running behind in 09 yards. And that guy stopped the meeting. I was just a little fly sitting on the side of the wall. He stopped the meeting and said, no, we sending these guys up in the mountains of Afghanistan. They will have the right socks. They ain't getting no knockoff socks. They're going to get it. And if you can't get it for me, pack your bags and get me somebody here to get it. And 3 days later, we was about to ship out. The last thing that I put in all my bags was those brand new socks. And still today,
I was about to say, do you still have them?
Still today, out of all the socks that I don't even know where they're at, I still keep up with those socks because I remember that logistics officer cared enough about us going that he wanted to make sure that our feet would be okay up in the mountains of Afghanistan. And that's what I'm looking for, is people are going to work, people are going to be passionate about what they be doing, and going to be proud of the suck. Yes, it actually is not fun. Yeah. It's not fun. But at the end of the day, if we really working for the people here in Northwest Georgia, we got to fight. We got to write up a farm bill that's going to pass. We got to get some more medical health care in here for the district. We got to bring down the cost. We got to look out for our farmers. We got to have hard conversations behind closed doors. And the reason why I say behind closed doors, because when you have it out in the public, now it turns into a back and forth foolishness.
Yep.
If you have it behind closed doors, you say you want to say and still say, come on, let's go on out to dinner. I'll buy you a beer.
Yep.
It wasn't personal. It was just, we just needed to make sure that we was on the same sheet of music, or you at least knew where I stood on the issue.
Yep.
Yeah, but a lot of them nowadays, they like to go out and say the most ridiculous things about their colleagues on the other side, and then expect to go out and have dinner after.
Yeah.
Before we even sat down and had a good faith,
like
decent conversation about issues and negotiated in good faith. They're not doing that anymore.
Well, I would tell y'all guys know it's very expensive in DC. I got my sons and stuff. They've grown men now. One is still in college, and then we got grandkids and this and that, all those kind of things. The only reason I say all that, I'm no multi-millionaire cat. So when I get to DC, I'm either going to be sleeping on the couch in the office or sleeping on the floor behind my desk. That's okay. That's what I signed up for. Or I'm going to be a roommate of somebody in DC. But guess what?
Yeah.
Suppose that roommate is a Republican. Our little apartment may turn into the spot that says, hey, after work, you go CNN, go to Fox, say what you want to, but after work, come on over here and over a cup of beers or a cup of coffee or soda, whatever your beverage is, let's try to figure out what are the 2 or 3 spots that we can actually agree upon, so that we can actually get something done this term that we're supposed to be up here in Congress, instead of just pointing fingers at each other and get nothing done. So I know all those things sound crazy, but all of my training that I went through in the military was all about trying to figure out where is yes. Where is the yes? And if you can get to the yes, that's a win for me, that's a win for you, but ultimately that's a win for the American people, and then ultimately is a win for the people in Northwest Georgia.
You say it sounds crazy. But here's the crazy thing, is we agree on more things than we disagree on in this country.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
The media and other, influencers have made it seem like we disagree on everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely everything. And we don't as Americans.
No, we don't.
No.
Once we got to the point where it's all about dehumanizing people that you don't agree with on a couple of topics politically, we need to get away from that. I've said it publicly, and I'll continue to say it, that Fuller and I are running against each other. However, Fuller is a veteran. He has served his country. I will never go at him about his service or any of those type things, because that is completely out of bounds.
I'm never going to go and talk about his family, his kids. That is just wrong. We have to talk about policies, where you're at on the issues. So I know it's some other individuals that's on the Republican side that are going at him real nasty on those things. That is completely out of bounds. That's not right. And I think that is, as far as I'm concerned, for Northwest Georgia, if we can just elevate our game so that we're actually talking the issues, more and more people, Democrats, independents, and yes, Republicans, will come out and vote because they will believe that it is worth it. Right now, we done made it so bad that people say nobody listens to me. And that's what we both fighting, because even on the Republican side, they are begging people to come out and vote. I'm not sure if they're going to come out, but on the Democratic side, we're going to get the turnout. We're going to do everything we need to. But with that being said, we got to put in the work. You can't just talk about it. You got to put it in.
Let me say this. Democrats in Georgia 14, those of you who didn't show up for the jungle primary, show up for the runoff on April.
This is the moment.
7th.
Yeah.
Show up. If you guys show up just in the numbers like you showed up for me or you showed up for Shawn the last time, this will be a blowout for General Harris. I can tell you that right now. It'll be a blowout for General Harris. We will stop the system.
I tell you, we pulled that off. This is not a win for you and I and the faces. This is a win for grandma. This is a win for grandpa. This is a win for the little bitty baby that's out there. And when I say that, I'm not putting a red or a blue t-shirt on that person. Amen. Because we all live here in Northwest Georgia, and we all know that we are catching hell. So with that being said, if you go through that premise and say, this win is for everybody else, all of us across the board, that's going to be an incredible night. And I think just like the 2 Tuesdays ago, whenever it was, this race, when we get to that particular Tuesday, we want to sit around all night. They're going to call it quick, and we're going to go from there, and we'll jump on the plane the next morning, be in D.C. by 9 o'clock to go to work.
Love it.
That's it. And people, if you don't think, like Shawn said, we're catching hell right now, drive to your local gas station, drive to your local Tractor Supply, drive to your local Walmart here in Northwest Georgia.
Yeah. And I'll just say it point blank, because it's people that live way out here with us, and especially live in West Cobb, that work at the airport. Mm-hmm. We got to get HAC squared away when it comes to ICE. But we also got to get something passed, because these are real people trying to feed their families. And when gas prices so high, the reason why some people are not coming to work, they can't afford to come back to work.
Yep.
And if you can't go to work, then you can't pay for child care. Yep. So it's not like somebody's skipping out on work. The math is just not mathing out anymore. And we got to get it figured out. I'm not pointing fingers at anybody, but this is one of those situations where you need to get behind closed doors and have the hard conversations and get it figured out, because right now we are hurting just everyday hardworking people, and the people that are working at the airport and all these other agencies. They got families just like you and I, and it's very few of us can miss a couple of paychecks and still make ends meet. Because one thing I will tell you, the man or the person that you pay your rent to, or the mortgage company you pay your mortgage to, they don't care. If you miss that payment, they'll say, I saw that on the news, but I didn't sign a contract with them. We're going to be putting you out of your house or foreclosing on your house here in the next 30 days. And
I promise you, this administration is not going to lift a finger to help you.
No.
Nope.
And some of the Republican members of Congress, they're not going to show any kind of spine or backbone to push back and say, we need to be helping working people here in this country. They're not doing it.
Yeah.
They're more concerned with suppressing the vote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm more concerned with.
General Harris,
health care. That's it.
Yes. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to say, General Harris, thank you so much for joining us back on the show. And I'll say again, so when you win again in a week or two, we'll give you a little while to get acclimated in DC there, but we definitely want you to come back on the show. And I just want to say in closing to our listeners and everybody that's going to be watching these clips on social media, this is the type of individual that we need, especially right now. If you're not happy about what's going on in Iran, if you're sick and tired of watching our soldiers get flown back on a C-5 to Dover Air Force Base, then we need to elect people like this, because he's not just going to represent the people of Georgia 14. He's going to represent Americans. He's going there to vote in Congress to make the decisions to stop everything that's happening right now. So if you are tired of this regime and what we're watching, and you're tired of the criminals taking our tax dollars and sending our soldiers into harm's way for absolutely no reason, then make sure you donate and make sure that you show up and vote, because the only other option we don't want. So with that, sir, thank you so much. Wish you luck, and I wish that I could vote for you. And if you ever need anything, you know where I'm at. So,
hey guys, I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. I do a lot of shows, but this is the only show that I get a chance to just be 100% real. And I thank you for that, because I love talking to veterans. And then, as veterans, we can have a different type conversation. I know everybody's watching it, but I think sometimes you need to be able to see behind the curtain and see how veterans steel on steel, we sharpen each other. So I thank you for helping me get my energy back so I can go out here, continue to knock on doors and earn these votes.
Yes,
He's
sir.
not lying, ladies and gentlemen. This is how he and I talk all the time.
You got to see it here today.
Expecting to do that on the show today, but it just happened.
Hey, man, that's why we do this show, because you know what? Like I said, relatable candidates win elections, but so does money. So make sure you go donate to Shawn Harris. And with that, thank you so much. As always, much love. Keep fighting. Whatever you do, make sure you all stay safe out there.
Godspeed, everybody.
Thanks.